What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, Conor McGregor, the verdict is in. He is held liable for the grape. That is a buzzword that the YouTube algorithm does not like, so I will be using the word grape to describe RAPE. Okay? I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago, how I thought the story behind this woman was a little bit shaky. Her account of events a little bit shaky. I still do feel that way. This was actually looked at by the Criminal Prosecution's Office in Dublin a while back, years ago, and they declined to go forward with it because of lack of evidence. Okay, she came back, filed a civil suit against Conor McGregor, and a jury of, get this, 8 women and 4 men found him liable. Conor McGregor has, made some sort of comment on X, basically saying that he will appeal this. He called it a modest award, 250,000 euros, I think, right around 250,000 US dollars. I mean, let's get honest. That's like me handing somebody 20 bucks. Conor McGregor is pretty close to a billionaire at this point, so 250,000 euros ain't shit for him. It might help Nakita hand out quite a bit. The story of how all this went down is still shaky, and I've heard some additional things involving this that made me think, what? Wait, what? Really? Shit's just getting crazier and crazier. Maybe I'm just a glutton for punishment, because the last time that I did this video, my channel's pretty small still, but I had at least a couple of people, specifically females, come onto my channel and literally call me a grape apologist. Literally. Some real red flags coming off of you, almost like I assault women. I'm like, wait, whoa. I'm not that dude. Just ask my wife of 11 years. I'm not a grape apologist. I do not condone in any way, shape, or form a woman being assaulted or taken advantage of by a man in any sort of way, albeit sexual or otherwise. Okay, so I want to be very clear about that right up front. This is the internet, so it's one of those things. If you get on here and if you even whisper or if you even hint that the woman in this case could be just gold digging a little bit, trying to get some money out of the situation, because according to McGregor, this was a consensual affair. It was consensual sex. Later on is when he heard the complaint from her that it was some sort of violent assault. And listen, maybe he violently assaulted her. And if he violently assaulted her, he needs to pay for that. She deserves to receive damages for that, okay? Because I'm sure it was a very difficult, tough thing for her to go through. I've never been through it, so I won't pretend to know how that must feel to be taken advantage of in such a violent, brutal, and sexual way, okay? I don't know what that's like. I imagine it's a horrible thing, and I imagine that it's really, really tough to bounce back from in your life. So I want to give credit to that fact on this video. But if you even hint that there are opportunists out there and kind of social public piranhas, which means they take little bites, little nibbles out of the big prey, right? You got this big fish. Social piranhas will come and take little nibbles out of them, right? And there are people like that out there. That is a fact. We know this as a fact. And parts of this lady's story indicate that that's exactly what she was. She supposedly had sex with another man hours later that night after this supposed violent attack by McGregor, and she didn't even remember that. She didn't even initially include that as part of her complaint. She came to make her complaint for the civil case, and when she did, the police had already done some of their investigation and some of their crime work, and they had to show her CCTV footage and like, wait a minute, now what are you doing with this guy? Where's this guy? Because we interviewed this guy here, James Lawrence, and he said that he had sex with you that same night. And she all of a sudden was like, well, I guess he raped me too. Hell, I don't even remember that. Do I think that she really didn't remember it? No, I think she remembered it. I think that she acted like she didn't remember it, because if she admits to having had sex with Conor McGregor later that same night, had sex with his friend James Lawrence, that makes her look like not a victim but a SLUT. And so I think that she knew that, and I think so in that moment the best thing she felt like she could do is just pretend like she was too messed up to remember it. No matter what you see on this video, no matter what happened with this guy James Lawrence later, I remember what happened with McGregor, and he did XYZ to me, okay? And maybe he did. Maybe he did. But I'm just going to read a little bit of this article. A woman who accused Conor McGregor of raping her has won her claim against him for damages in a civil case. A jury found that the Irish mixed martial arts fighter assaulted Nakita Hand in a Dublin hotel in December 2018. He has been ordered to pay her more than €248,000 in damages. Speaking outside the courtroom on Friday, Miss Hand said her story was a reminder that no matter how afraid you might be to speak up, you have a voice. In a post on X on Friday evening, McGregor said he would appeal against the verdict, and he thanked all for the support worldwide. I am with my family now, focused on my future, he added. The jury at the High Court in Dublin had been deliberating for a day before returning its verdict that McGregor did assault Miss Hand. She also had taken a case against another man, James Lawrence. She alleged that he assaulted her by having sex with her without her consent in the Beacon Hotel. The jury found that he did not assault her, because this is the gentleman that the police showed her CCTV footage of her in an amicable situation with James Lawrence in a taxi cab in the basement of the hotel. There is surveillance footage of her making out with him, holding him, kissing him on his ear, kissing him on his neck. You can't be in that intimate sort of encounter with someone, it be on television, and then turn around and say that he graped me. A lot of times that doesn't fly, and the jury is not going to buy that. So apparently James Lawrence was found not guilty of the assault. Interesting. James Lawrence is not the one who is a big Irish superstar. Just saying. Justice will be served. Miss Hand told reporters she was overwhelmed and touched by the support she had received. She added, I want to show my daughter, Freya, and every other young woman and boy that you can stand up for yourself if something does happen to you, no matter who the person is, and that justice will be served. Both men had denied the claims by the 35-year-old hair colorist and said they separately had consensual sex with Miss Hand at the hotel almost 6 years ago. After 8 days of evidence and 3 days listening to closing speeches and the judge's comments, the jury of 8 women and 4 men spent 6 hours and 10 minutes deliberating before returning with its verdict. Can you imagine the estrogen in that deliberating room? Can you imagine the 4 men? Imagine one of them saying, well, I don't think he did it. And then the 8 women looking at him. Okay, I changed my mind. This is not funny. You can't talk about something like this without getting hate. I literally got called a grape apologist. I'm not a grape apologist, but I am a practical, objective thinker. And there are social piranha out there that like to take nibbles from these big, huge, famous stars. There are opportunists that find themselves in a situation where they look after the fact and they say, now I could probably get something out of this. Is Miss Hand one of those people? The only people that will ever know are her and Conor McGregor. Nobody will ever know. So no matter what my opinion is, no matter what anybody else's opinion is worldwide, the only people that will ever know that is Nakita Hand and Conor McGregor. McGregor shook his head after the jury read out that Miss Hand had won her case against him. He was accompanied by his partner Dee Devlin, his parents, his sister, and his brother-in-law. He sat in the back row of the court between his partner and mother, Margaret. Miss Hand cried and was hugged by her partner and supporters. The jury had previously heard on that day of the attack Miss Hand and her colleague Danielle Keeley went to the hotel's penthouse suite with McGregor and Mr. Lawrence after their work Christmas party, where they had been drinking and snorting yayo, by the way. I would like to add that. Listen, just because you're drinking and snorting yayo, that does not mean that it is okay for you to be sexually assaulted. Did you hear that? I'm not condoning the sexual assault because you were drinking and because you were snorting yayo, but there is one thing that is factual. When you drink a lot and when you snort yayo, there is a stronger likelihood a sexual encounter, consensual or not, could potentially happen. Those things do what? Cloud your judgment. If you've never drank a lot and if you've never snorted yayo, shut your dirty mouth because you don't know. They absolutely can cause you to do things you really wouldn't normally do. That is relevant in this case. Placed in a chokehold, Miss Han, a mother of one, told the court how McGregor had pinned her to the bed before assaulting her. She was left with extensive bruises and abrasions over her body, including on her hands and wrists. There was a bloodied scratch on her breast and tenderness on her neck after she was placed in a chokehold by McGregor. There's one part of this that I read this morning in this article that just seems so ridiculous to me. And it was a part where Nakita Han described an instance where Conor McGregor put her in a chokehold later to tell her, now you know what it feels like to be in the octagon and tap out 3 times. And he was referring to his bout with Khabib Nurmagomedov where he had to tap. This just it just hurts my brain. I cannot see. Like, why? What? I mean, where did that come from? Like he's making her pay for the fact that Khabib Nurmagomedov tapped him out. Like, what? It just makes no sense. What does this have to do with these allegations? I mean, obviously, if he choked her against her will, obviously, but I don't know. The comment is just very specific. It's like, wait, what? Weird, man. He denied causing the bruising, saying it could have happened after she swan dived into the bath in the hotel room. Wow. Okay. The jury had been told how Miss Han had to leave her job as a hairdresser and has not been able to work since due to her mental health, that her relationship with her partner ended months after the incident. Okay. You have a partner at home. Okay. You have a child with this partner. Okay. Your partner is at home with the child, babysitting like a good little boy, like a good partner should, right? You're out at a Christmas party, drinking, snorting cocaine. You, after that, send a message on Instagram to one of the biggest superstars that MMA has ever seen. He comes and picks you up afterwards. You go to another party at a penthouse hotel where you continue to drink and snort cocaine. Supposedly have sex with 2 men in the same night, whether consensual or not. You still went to the party. You still messaged Conor McGregor. You still let him come pick you up. You still went to a penthouse room alone with the biggest Irish superstar anyone has ever seen. You're still drinking. You're still snorting cocaine. If I was her partner, I don't care if they went there and played Scrabble. I would be like, what the fuck are you doing with Conor McGregor drinking and snorting cocaine all night? I don't think this is going to work out. I'm just saying, does that give him the right to, does that mean I'm condoning him graping her? Of course not. No woman should ever be taken advantage of in that way. But I'm not convinced that I would like to still be in a relationship with you. Okay? So it says here, our partner left, that's ended. All of this because Conor McGregor took advantage of her. Look, I'm sorry, even if he didn't take advantage of you as her partner, I have a problem with this, okay? That's no surprise that that relationship didn't work out. I just got to be honest. She had to move out of her home because they split up, and that her mortgage was now in like some sort of home foreclosure sort of instance. Hopefully, the 250,000 euros helps her out. Let's just put it that way. I'm still not convinced that this wasn't a consensual situation. Bring it on. You can call me a grape apologist all you want to. Just sounds really sketchy to me. There was a lot of sketchy details surrounding this case. Listen, it is what it is. Conor McGregor is going to have to learn. Stay home with D. Devlin. Stay home with your kids. Stop going out partying with all of these different people, because when you are a big, massive, huge superstar like this, you are subject to these sort of things, whether you're guilty or not. And he could be guilty. We know Conor McGregor has some violent tendencies, slapping people in pubs, grabbing people's phones out of their hands and throwing them on the floor, picking up a dolly and breaking a window of a bus with a bunch of UFC fighters. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. The guy has some violent tendencies. Does that mean that he's a rapist? No. No, it doesn't. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he's not a rapist either. Conor McGregor and Nakita Hand are the only ones that know what happened that night. He's worth $1 billion, close to it at this point. 250,000 euros ain't shit to him. That's like me paying somebody $20. She also said that she had to stop seeing a counselor because she can no longer afford to pay for the sessions. Well, I wonder if this 250,000 euros is going to make this mental health situation better. I will be curious if she uses any of this 250,000 euros to pay for counseling sessions after this. I'd be curious about that. I would. My guess is she won't use it for that. She won't use it to better her mental health. She'll use it to buy herself a house and probably some more yayo. Just saying. Man, I'm going to get the shit attacked out of me on this video. I already know it. But you know what? Most of the people, that watch this video are probably not going to make it this far anyway. They'll watch 5 minutes of it, and then they'll call me a grape apologist, and then they'll just go on to another video. It's okay. I know who I am. My wife knows who I am. My family knows who I am. And they were from Ireland, too, I believe. The ones who called me a grape apologist. I hope that justice has been served. And if he did, in fact, do what Nakita Hand is accusing him of, I hope that he pays that. I hope that that money helps her recover from this. And if she is lying, I hope that is a lesson for Conor McGregor, that he needs to stay the hell home with his fiance and his kids, because he should be doing that in the first place, if I'm being honest. I know he's Conor McGregor. I know he's this huge star. I know he has testosterone coursing through his veins, not to mention other drugs and probably steroids too. I get all that. That's a personal battle for him to fight. If he keeps going out like this, keeps living this sort of lifestyle, I imagine that this sort of thing and these sort of accusations will continue to get levied against him, whether he really does them or not. Even if he did not actually grape her, he's in the wrong for living this sort of lifestyle when he has a fiance and several children with her at home. Stay at the house, bro. That's what you should do. Because when you're Conor McGregor, you can't get by with going and doing this and going out places and drinking and snorting cocaine with people and renting penthouses. And you can't. You know, I'm not saying there's not some women that are mature enough to handle it, and just I get to be with one of the world's biggest superstars, yay me, and then they Monday morning rolls around and back to normal business, and they just get to tell their friends about it, you know. But there's some women that are in it for the complete wrong reason and are social piranha and are just trying to get something out of it. Is Nakita Hand that? I don't know. Only her and Conor McGregor know that. But anyway, subscribe to the channel. I got to go. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.